So this topic is one that's been bothering me a lot recently, and I wanted to touch on it a little in a video, but I've been busy with another video essay that I've been working on. So while I'm working on that, I'm just going to record this real quick because it's been bothering me a lot recently, and I just feel like I need to talk about it. There's no script for this, just completely winging it. So recently, I've noticed a lot of people showing disdain towards movies made by certain studios. They conflate the quality of a studio's movies with the studio that's making the movies. For example, Marvel and Star Wars. People say a lot nowadays that modern Marvel and modern Star Wars are bad, specifically because they fall under the Disney company. But that's not how movie production works. All movies and shows or comics or whatever that fall under like the Disney label, they're all made by different creative teams. What makes a good quality movie is the creative team that's behind it, not the studio. I mean, you can take Marvel for example. You look at Secret Invasion, pretty bad show, right? It really got killed in the reshooting process. But its creative team is entirely different from the creative team that created Loki, a much better show, because Loki was created by people who knew what they were doing. I mean, Loki season 2 didn't even have reshoots. They had a vision and they stuck to it because these are people who are very passionate about the character. The people who made Secret Invasion were not very passionate about making Secret Invasion. You can tell because the show was bad. And like in Star Wars, the different shows are made by different people. The Mandalorian was created by Jon Favreau, and that show was great. Meanwhile, something like The Rise of Skywalker, a fucking hot mess of a film, was directed by J.J. Abrams. They were two entirely different creative teams, which is why they came out so differently in terms of quality. Same thing with The Bad Batch. It is a Dave Filoni show, which is why it's so much better than The Rise of Skywalker. Because Dave Filoni has experience in the business. Dave Filoni had experience working on Avatar The Last Airbender. He knows what he's doing. He also worked directly under George Lucas in creation of the Clone Wars. That's why in most modern Star Wars shows, Dave Filoni's name is usually attached there somewhere. He's a connective thread between all modern Star Wars because he knows what he's doing. He is George Lucas's apprentice. But do you know what Dave Filoni didn't work on? The Rise of Skywalker. Sure, Disney, Pixar, Marvel Studios, Star Wars, they all fall under this modern Disney umbrella, but none of the products they make come from the same creative teams. Just because one Disney movie is bad doesn't mean the next Disney movie will be bad because they're not made by the same people. They're not made by the same people, so they won't turn out the same. That's why I always give the next Star Wars show a shot. That's why I always give the next Marvel movie a shot. That's why I always give the new Disney or Pixar movie a shot. Because I know the people who made this are different from the people who made past stuff that I might not like. I gave the Marvels a chance because I knew it wasn't made by the same people who made Secret Invasion. So even though I didn't like that show, and it technically falls under the Disney umbrella, even though it was produced by Disney, it wasn't created by Disney. And The Marvels was pretty fun. It was a fun movie. I enjoyed it a lot. But if I had that idea that I've seen just all over fucking Twitter and mostly grifters, it's mostly grifters who think like that. Like, you don't see a reasonable person just who lives their everyday life going, hey, I didn't like Wish, that new Disney movie, so I'm definitely going to also not like the new Star Wars show. No, you don't see a reasonable person do that. Where you do see it, conservative grifters, because they fucking suck. They're trying to conflate the studio that makes the product with its quality so they can easily dismiss whatever new thing comes out of that studio. And it's weird and it's unreasonable, but they do it, and it needs to be pointed out. Because I see this in like the YouTube comment section, I see this in TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, fucking Twitter. I see it everywhere. I even see it in popular content creators who continue to spread this idea. And it just, it doesn't work. It's a fundamentally flawed idea. And I think we should all work to like change our mindset with this kind of thing. I can go to a new Star Wars show and expect it to be better than Secret Invasion because I know they weren't made by the same people. Sure, they were both produced by Disney, but the creative teams are entirely different. You see this with like Sony too. Their live action Spider-Man spin-off movies? Awful. Venom? Shit movie. They fundamentally misunderstand the character. Wow. Shocker. That's a Spider-Man pun. I did that on complete accident. But the Spider-Man animated movies coming out of Sony? Incredible. How does that make sense? They were both made by Sony, so surely they should both be bad, right? But they aren't, because the people who made Morbius and Madam Web are different from Lord and Miller, who made Spider-Verse. It's the creative team that makes a project good. Like the upcoming Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3 has the same creative team as Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2. All of the Deadpool movies are made by the same people, which is why they're all good, and which is why Deadpool 3 is going to be good. It's the creative team that makes a product good, not the studio that produces it. That's all I got to say for now, and I'll see you later.